See the invisible, achieve the impossible, part 6. Now we've been in this mini video series, we've been studying from the heroes of faith, and now we are going to look from an example of, we saw of what to do. Abraham and other people, we saw example of what to do. But now we're going to see from an example of what not to do. Now we saw that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by, give me the scripture, how many times I've given it, so give me the scripture. Romans 10:17, big hand for everybody. Good students, okay, nice. Now we saw, or we discussed regarding faith, we saw that what helps in strengthening the faith, what body part?
Hearing.
The ears help, and what obstructs? The eyes make a problem. The eyes are a problem. We saw in the example of Peter, what did he focus on? When he was hearing whose voice? Jesus' voice, he was able to do what? Walk on water. But when he saw the storm, he started to sink. So eyes are the problem, ears are good. Okay? Now, we're looking from the example of Hagar, and it says, Sarah was displeased with Hagar, and she told Abraham, just kick her out of home. And it was not a very good, comfortable position for Abraham to do that. But the Lord spoke to him. We are in Genesis chapter 21, and we are in verse 12, which says, "But God said to Abraham, do not let it displease you in your sight because of the lad, or because of your bondwoman. Whatever Sarah has said to you, listen to her voice." Now sometimes I get in trouble reading the Bible, It's not the things in the Bible that I don't understand that disturb me. It's the things that I do understand. God is telling Abraham, listen to your wife, and sometimes I find it hard to listen to my wife. So it's the things that I do understand. God says, okay, she's being a little ridiculous. But God still honors her. Why God always gives grace to the ladies, I don't know. But anyway, that's the scriptures, okay? We have to follow it. It says, whatever Sarah has said to you, listen to her voice. Difficult words of the Lord, Difficult words of the Lord for Abraham as well, and for me as well. For in Isaac your seed shall be called, yet I will also make a nation of the son of the bondwoman, because he is your seed. What is the Lord saying? Not only will I bless Isaac, I will bless this lad as well, and I will make him a great nation because he's your seed. But you have to kick him out. So there was a blessing on Hagar's life because of Abraham. So Abraham rose early in the morning. Verse 14. Abraham rose early in the morning, took bread and a skin of water, putting it on her shoulder, he gave it and the boy to Hagar and sent her away. Then she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. So there is a promise of the Lord on Hagar's life. But she's told, we saw so many examples from Moses, and in our last video we saw from Abraham's life. What did the Lord call Abraham to do? What did the Lord give? Go out of your country, your family, and your father's house. Go into the land. And what did he do? He was living in the house and he went and dwelt in tents. From the comfort zone to the unknown. Same thing again. She is in, because Abraham was not rich, very rich. He had a comfortable life. And it was a good home. And now where is she? Where is she? She's wandering, it says, wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. Now can you imagine, it's easy when we are just reading the scripture, but can you imagine living a comfortable life? Living a life in which you are provided for, and then all of a sudden everything is taken from you. Well, what kind of an attitude would we have in that kind of a situation? And we are experiencing these kind of situations, but we also know that the blessing of the Lord is on our lives. The Lord will sometimes allow a situation to come in your life where your sense of security, when your home, when your business, when your job, when your provision or your family member will be taken away from you. And you will be literally wandering in the wilderness. Now, Peter, when he was walking on the water, he did what? He did what? Yeah, but what was his mistake? He looked at the storm. Let's see what this woman is looking at. And the water in the skin was used up. She's wandering in the wilderness. She has now no hope. She is wandering in the wilderness. She placed the boy under one of the shrubs. She went and sat down across from him at a distance of about a bow shot, and she said to herself, "Let me not see the death of the boy." And she sat opposite to him and lifted her voice and wept. Why is she weeping? Why is she crying? Because she thinks that the boy is going to die, she's going to die. There is wilderness, there is no more provision, there is no more security, there is no more house. It's a very, very, very hostile environment that she is in, and that's where she is going to be. It says in verse 17, "And God heard the voice of the lad. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven and said to her, 'What ails you, Hagar? What's your problem, Hagar? Hey, why are you crying?'" God is, isn't it obvious what her problem is? Isn't it obvious? Can't God see our problems? But what does He do? He asks us, what is your problem? In the Garden of Eden, He asked Adam, what did He ask? Where are you? Did He not know where he is? He knew. He's asking, God many times asks us this question, what is the reason that God asks us? Jesus asked a lame man, what do you want to do? He asked him, do you want to be healed? It's obvious, right? But why is He asking that question? Why does God ask us very obvious questions? Think of it. He wants to know our mindset. Okay, what else? What else?
To reflect on His promises.
He wants us to reflect on His promises. Okay. Ask and you shall receive. That's the biblical principles. Yes.
Confess.
To verbalize it, to know. Yes. Why? Free will. You understand? So he cannot just, there are things which the Lord just gives, but certain things, because the Lord respects us so much, he would not give us if we have not asked. Because of, he does not, even in the blessings, he does not want to violate our free will. But when you have asked, you give him the permission. You give him the possibility to bless you. So when God asks us a question, it is so that we can ourselves ponder upon that question and answer. When God asks you a question, please be very careful how you answer. When God is asking you a question, there is an immense blessing in that question. And depending on our answers, we will either receive that blessing, or either we will just receive it partially, or we might not receive it at all. Now, she's there and weeping, and I'm in Genesis chapter 21, and I'm in verse 17 onwards. Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, hold him with your hand, and I will make him a great nation. So verbally, loudly, the Lord has given a promise to Hagar. Now it says, now comes the problem of the which body part? The eyes. The eyes cause us to be weakened in our faith. Okay?